Okay, I think I'm live. Welcome to Doves Radio, Doves for Peace, and I will be holding the Vigil for Peace in the next hour. We're going to study this week and in the next several weeks about healing with sound. That's healing the earth, healing the animals, healing the plants. That's healing you and me and all the people, each and every one. So we will go into very broad exercises with healing with sound. And we're also going to discuss very specific things, like how to heal a memory, sacred tones used in the past for lighting up your aura and taking the elevator up to enlightenment, the fast track. We're going to learn how to rebalance, reset harmony and tones in your body, and how to use tones for healthy relationships and even emotional healing, to change your wiring of past painful memories, and to flush out negativity that you've stored in your body from this life, from being hurt, from not recognizing your hurt feelings, perhaps from past lives, if you believe in that. So we have a huge agenda, and we're only going to do a third of it today. And we're going to start off with a beautiful, beautiful meditation. So I would like you to close your eyes, like I'm going to do, and we're going to just relax. So close your eyes and pretend that you're on a beach. And you're walking, you can feel the sun in your air, on the back of your head where it's warm. You can feel your shoulders being warmed by the sun. Your hair kind of blows a little in the breeze, and you can hear the slow lapping of water. And you start to walk slowly in time with the waves as they roll in and out. In and out. So you sit down on the beach and you close your eyes. You can hear the seagulls. The beach is deserted, just you. You're so safe, so calm, so beautiful. Now, in your imagination, pretend that you're no bigger than an inch and that you are residing inside your body. You're like a little you, an inch-sized version, who's behind your eyes, and that who you are is actually this little inch person who's operating your physical body. And you're looking out at the world from your eyes. But for now, we're going to take just a little trip, a little vacation. We're going to disengage from our eyes, and you're going to jump right down your throat. Pretend that you're in your throat looking out. You're this little inch being, and you can see the looks like a roof, almost a porch roof, like you're under a porch roof, but it's the top of your chin. And you can see out, and you can see down your chest, and you can see your arms. So we're going to take another jump, and we're going to jump down a little bit further so that we can go in parallel to our arms. So now we're going to jump down to our arms, and we're going to go to our shoulders, and you can look up and see your face. Pretend you can see your face, but you're below your face, looking up at it from your right shoulder. We're going to close our eyes again, And we're going to jump all the way down like going a big sliding board. Woo! And we're going to go down into our fingertips. And you're in a finger, and you're looking up at your face. Pretend, just choose your imagination. And you can see yourself, if your finger's off to your right, you can see yourself from the side. If you put your finger in front of you, then you can see yourself from a frontal view. If you put your finger off to the left, then you can see yourself from the left. Okay, now, we've gotten the idea of having our consciousness be in this little inch tall, powerful little person that's us. Now we're going to travel up our fingers to our elbows, up to our elbows, into our shoulders, and across to the center of our body. I'm going to do another fun trip on this slide, and we're going to jump down and sit on top of our heart. Imagine your heart, soft and deep, and you can see it bumping, bum bum, bum bum, and you're sitting right on top. It's very deep, it's very sensitive. If you just think for a moment, you can feel layers and layers and layers. Okay, we're going to kind of slide in again. This time, we're going to jump right into the center of our heart. Okay, here we go. Feel how deep it is. This is you. You have all these layers that you haven't explored. You have power and strength here that you know not of. So soft, so wise. This part of you knows so much more than the part of you that's up behind your eyes, because the information and the wisdom is stored in this organ. So I want you to just take a minute and feel beautiful. Feel the depth of the universe all within. Feel compassion for everything and everyone. Feel the deep understanding that we're all together, that you can access other people's feelings, and everything happens for a reason. It's all okay. You've never been this wise, safe, powerful, and yet so understanding. So now, we're going to give this beautiful feeling a sound. I'll do mine just to show you. It can be any sound. You're just going to use your imagination. Here's my imagination at work. Ooh. Now you make your sound. Okay, we're going to now make a sound together. When we make our sound, we're going to feel the power, the wisdom, the understanding, the love that we are, that we're not aware of, because it's so much more than we're normally aware of. Okay, together, here we go, making our sound. When different people make sounds at the same time, the power of the sound goes up exponentially. So it's very important that you make your sound, even though we might do it at different times. It's energy and it will connect. And the fact that we're all doing it together makes it so much more powerful. So I want you to continue making your sound, and I'm just going to give you a few little helpful instructions. Okay, go ahead and make your beautiful sound of compassion, wisdom, and love. As you do it, I want you to pretend you can push the sound out of your heart, the sound that contains the wisdom, the love, the depth, and the understanding. And it's so big now that this sound is almost like a clear bubble. Perhaps like if you blow bubble gum, you get a very clear bubble, or like a balloon. And it's getting bigger, much bigger. It's now as big as a grapefruit. Feel how beautiful, kind, and loving it is. Okay, we're all going to make our bubble. It's going to get bigger. It's now bigger than our chest. This bubble of love and understanding is bigger than we are. And it's getting bigger. It's now at least 3 feet wide, encompassing most of our body. Make the bubble bigger and bigger. It's got to be so big now that we can easily fit inside this little capsule of love, wisdom, kindness, understanding, and light. The bubble keeps getting bigger. It's as big as the room. It's blessing everybody in the room, plants, animals, people, even the consciousness in everything. And it gets bigger than our house. Just use your imagination, this wonderful love, and keep making your tone is just getting as big as the whole block now, or the whole acre. And as it continues to get bigger, it's now as big as our whole town or city that we reside in. And it gets bigger, and now it's encompassing our whole country. But we're not stopping there. We're keeping making our sound of love, forgiveness, compassion, mercy, and light. And it's now encompassing our whole continent. Take a big breath, and the bubble encompasses the earth. You can see the whole earth just inside. Now we're going to take that bubble, and we're going to imagine that earth is a person, and the surface where we live is her skin. And it's not enough to just bless her skin. We're going to bless her through and through. So in our imagination, we're going to take this bubble of love and kindness, wisdom, understanding, support, power, safety, and just go right through her. So every ounce, from the outside to the inside of our beloved earth, is affected by our beautiful sound, our beautiful love, the depth of the ages. Feel the blessing. Feel the oceans. If they could smile, they would. The dolphins happy that you have done this. Feel the birds winking at you because they're thankful they've noticed. Think of the fields going, and think the depth of the earth. Feeling gratitude for you. We're just going to take a moment and continue to make our sound, and then just be silent for a moment. And we're just going to bathe in the love of everything and everyone. how beauty of our heart. Feels so good. And we're going to go up our throat so we can now see the top of our chin, but we're going to go back behind our eyes, and we're going to log in behind our eyes. Cool, huh? And I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. And then we will be at normal waking consciousness, feeling better than before, feeling deeper, slower, more blessed, more connected, more wise and loving than before. 3, more and more conscious. 2, more and more conscious. 1, back to normal waking consciousness. Okay. That was our prayer for today. Okay, on with our lessons about learning to heal with sound. Ancient people in legends from Central America, Europe, America, India, and China all talk about people from Atlantis, and different variations of that word. They describe legends in which people were not perhaps Homo sapiens, perhaps more fairy-like, maybe not even leaving skeletal remains, but they were very clairvoyant, clairaudient, and telepathic. They lived for many lives, and when you read many ancient readings, the Bible, for example, you'll see that someone lived 300 some years. Well, according to these legends, one of the ways that they kept themselves youthful for so long was by using sound. Now, we would never think of it because we're not the same as them. We rely on information from our eyes and our sound to talk, to communicate. And we don't really look at anything in sound because we think it's just entertainment. What a disabling thought that is. And we're going to, of course, blow that out of the water. So we're going to think of sound as a tool. Think of it this way. If everybody communicated telepathically, why would you need to communicate with words? You know that you can say something like, I love you, I don't love you. And it doesn't always mean the same. The words are just a shell of the deeper communication. So why would you use a flimsy shell when you can have the whole enchilada and communicate telepathically? Sound in those days was used more like a jackhammer or a tool for purposes. Lifting heavy rocks, growing gardens faster, for healing your body, for growing a new leg. These are the things in legends and stories. So if you could imagine your whole body as vibration, which it is, and energy, which it is, and that everything, when it was healthy, had a special tone, and everything kind of fit together harmoniously. But when we get in this world of 3D, we run into pain, we have difficult situations, we get out of whack, and we drop out of tune. And we don't know it. If my liver's slipping, I don't know it's slipping. But in ancient times, they could hear it slipping or see it slipping. And so if they're when something gets depressed, it would get flat. Like here would be a healthy tone, for example, ooh. And if it's getting sick, it's going to go ooh. Okay? And if you got too stressful, it would go up in pitch. So it would go ooh, kind of like that. So if they could hear or see their energy getting out of tune, off color, they could just simply make a sound in their body and get it back in tune. Very powerful, very powerful. And before this course is over, we're going to learn to do that ourselves. And in fact, I have a new CD, Deep Wave Body Healing, in which I do this actual exercise. I have the recorded frequencies of organs in your body, and they are an actual frequency. You can measure them. And then they have harmonic cascade, which is just an after ripple of sound. And sometimes, like your heart, for example, might have sub sounds, like each ventricle or each little part might have a different sub frequency. And then I can play them with the harmonic cascades. And so in this CD, the Deep Wave Body Healing, you can do meditation and start to learn to recognize the energy of your organs and hear the sounds of healthy organs, and learn numerous techniques in this meditation to start to recognize and harmonize all that within. And my website is jillswingsoflight.com, jillswingsoflight.com, and there's all kinds of cool stuff there. But that's kind of like we'll get into more detail on that after several weeks. Right now, we're going to start at the beginning of Healing with Sound, and we're going to learn a very powerful exercise. And here it is. We're going to ground with sound. Now, I wish somebody was with you and you could just kind of poke them. I know it's irritating, but just poke them to see. And usually when you poke somebody, they'll move back a little. Like if you poke someone with one finger, maybe they'll sway an inch. And then if you do this exercise, it's going to take about 20 seconds. If you poke them afterwards, they're not going to sway at all. They will become physically stronger in 30 seconds, emotionally and mentally as well, though that's not quite as obvious. So here's the technique. We're going to ground with sound, because that's what we're doing here, is learning to heal with sound. So here we go. That's the technique. It's just called glissando. Nobody needs a good voice. You start with the most comfortable tone, your speaking voice, and then you just let it drop. During this time, use your imagination and think of like you got water pistols in the bottom of your feet, and down comes your energy, and it goes out the bottom of your feet into the ground, all the way into the dirt, even if you're on a skyscraper, into the ground, and way down, deep into the bedrock. And imagine this water pistol or this water shooting out of your body, just kind of like has fingers, and it grabs into the bedrock. And you are one with that rock. Okay? That's the imagination. You heard the sound. Everybody can do it. Easy peasy. Okay, here we go. We're all going to ground with sound together. Here we go. Can you feel, listen to my voice. It's now got deeper tones. I am connecting with the energy of the earth. The energy of the earth has electric and magnetic currents that are very healthy for your body. Think of it like resetting some of your basic electromagnetic and electric patterns in your body that are kind of like a root frequency pattern that are very healthy and that other ones feed off of. If someone loses their grounding, they will lose their health. So let's think of some applications of this technique. Let's say you want to go in and ask your boss for a raise. This is a great thing to do. Do it ahead of time. And then you come in and you're very powerful, and people respond to you as you are. It might be a really good one if somebody's pushing you around or trying to get you to do something that you know better than. Just in your imagination, pretend you're taking your voice down there, and you'll start to ground, even without making a sound. Although doing it with a sound is far more powerful. But it works the other way too. So it's very healthy for you. It makes you strong. It kind of resets your electric and electromagnetic templates in your body. And what did that take? Probably not even 30 seconds. Woo! Okay, so now we're going to do another exercise with sound. This one's cool too. This one, we're going to connect with the heavens. Okay, I'll go first and I'll show. This is the sound that you make. Here we go. Ooh. Okay, don't have to have the best voice. Start with your speaking voice and just let it gradually rise up like you're a fire siren. And in your imagination, you can start like at your belly button and see the energy going up and up and up and up, woohoo, way above your life stream. Right, comes out of the top of your head and it goes way up. And it brings down energy from above your head, subtle energy that's very uplifting, that helps you with psychic skills, that helps you with intuition, that gives you connectivity to higher beings, wisdom, and understanding. So now it's your turn. I'll do it with you. Ready? I want you to make a comfortable tone. And then shoot it up. Oh. So kind of think like a big water fountain's coming out of the top of your head, and just be still for a moment and feel the energy. Pay attention to very soft feelings. And it's almost like soft and delicate rainbow is just entering the space around you, in and around you, and becoming you. I give this little double technique of grounding and going up above your head, the term flossing. You know how to kind of floss your teeth back and forth? So you can floss your body. You can go down into the bedrock, then come up like, and then come up through your body, and then go up through your head, come down, go through your body, go down through your feet into the bedrocks, up and down. You need all frequencies for health. And we get out of tune, we lose frequencies, And when you do this exercise, you refresh your body. So here we go with the flossing, and we're going to go, oh, up and down like that. I promise you, if you do this regularly every day, you will uplift yourself, you will uplift your mind, your emotions, and your body. It's powerful and it's quick. And it does kind of the same thing the Atlanteans does, because we can't see clairvoyantly and clairaudiently where we're out of tune. By giving ourselves the whole gamut, the whole rainbow, all the frequencies, our body can selectively pick what it needs. If we really were interested in health and fast spiritual development, that would be a great thing to do for, let's say, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day. It would, with sound, each little application helps. The more you do it, the more it changes. Our physicality is fairly set energy, and it takes a lot of emotional, mental, and sound repeats to change the actual physical body. Think of yourself as like an empty cup. And each time you say a prayer, each time you have love in your heart, and you put in a drop. When you do it with sound, let's say you put in 10 drops. You know, it's a very powerful modality, sound. So use your sound and your voice, like we did, and just start to fill up your bucket. And you might have to put in 1,000 drops to fill your bucket. But when you do that, that energy that is you has now changed. And it's so much quicker than doing it with your willpower. Much more lasting and powerful. Okay, so that's it for grounding and accessing heavenly energy. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of a science lesson. And I promise you that I try to make it easy peasy, quick and easy, and I almost apologize because I hate to get technical, but I'm going to use these words often throughout these Healing with Sound classes. So here we go. The first one we're going to talk about is science phenomenon called resonance. So I want you to think of a violin here and a violin here. We play the A string on this violin and leave this violin over here alone. This violin will automatically start to play that A string. Woohoo, magic. But it's science, and what happens is if you have the same frequency, the same cycles per second of a sound wave, over in your right violin, the left violin automatically receives it. It's like an invisible wormhole. I always like imagery like that to help me remember. So let's remember this. If there's a sound that you're listening into the radio, let's say a lot of the musical note A, everything that in your body that's the same cycles per second is going to receive energy from that A. Wow, you ingest sound. You are what you eat, but you're also what you listen to. Now, when you eat, you get a bigger dosage because you're taking in hard things. And sound is a smaller dosage, softer dosage. But, you know, you don't eat 24/7, and you do ingest sound 24/7. Think of the Grand Canyon, think of the water running over the rocks, and you see that the water bends to the shape of the rock. That's kind of like eating in this analogy. And in the analogy, if you look up from the Grand Canyon, you see the big cavern carved from the water. You see that over time, the slow, subtle, 24/7 force, in the end, wins the day. And that's the same with sound. So it's very important what you're listening to. Okay, and another term here, and that is called an octave. This is a music term, and again, it's easy peasy, it's not hard. An octave is the exact same note, like C, C. Sounds the same, it's just higher or lower. And when you look at the science behind an octave, let's make it up and say a musical note is 10 cycles per second. Its octave is going to be 20 cycles per second. Okay, so you just double it. So if you have an octave that's 20 cycles per second, you double it, you get 40 cycles per second. And it goes down too. So if you have a note that's C, C, they're octaves. Same note, just higher or lower. Energy travels on octaves as well. That's kind of like the mind-body connection. Let's think about this for a moment. All your emotions are a certain cycle per second. They're a feeling. They always feel the same because they are the same energy. So I'm worrying, and it's a certain cycles per second. I'm going to make this up. Let's say it's 80 cycles per second. And the lining in my tummy, the muscles and the tissues in the lining of my tummy, it vibrates too. And it just so happens that the cycles per second of the lining of the tissues in my tummy are the exact same cycles per second as worry. So every time I worry, imagine the little invisible gerbil tunnel going from my worrying right into the belly. And if I do it enough, I'm going to get an ulcer. I'm going to bore a hole right into my stomach. That's powerful stuff. But you need a lot of repeats. You don't get an ulcer for one worry. You get an ulcer for a lot of drops of worry. So you can see that worry might be a different octave, but it's the same note as the lining in the tissues of in your tummy. So that's how things transfer from your mind to your emotions to your physical body. Okay, and the science one, but and science 2 was octave, but I got one more. I'll keep it easy again. This one's called entrainment. Let's pretend we're in a clock shop. So you have a great big grandfather clock going tick tock, tick tock. And you have a bunch of little ones, little teeny weeny clocks, and they're going tick, 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 tick. If you give it about, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes and go into that clock, you'll see every clock copying the rhythm of the loudest one. So all those little clocks in time will be beating at the same pace as the big grandfather clock. So the little ones will change and match the bigger one. So they'll now be going tick, tick, tick. And that's kind of the basis for the Hermetic saying, so as above, so below. And it's also why we sometimes copy strong personalities. They have like a vibration and a rhythm. And if we're in close proximity, they tend to overtake us. So sometimes it's a matter of power. Forget your words. Forget your posturing. How strong are you? And is to how much you influence others or they influence you. So that wasn't too hard. So just think of the entire electromagnetic spectrum, be it a cell phone wave, be it an earth electromagnetic wave, being it a musical sound that we listen or an emotion that we feel. Energy transfers through all these realms, through resonance, the same frequency or an octave of it. In another way, like if you listen to a low bass tone, I don't know, sometimes I'm on the street and some car will come with the windows down and they got the subwoofers and you hear this boom, 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 boom. You can actually feel the low pulses in a deep tone. It goes whoa, whoa. So you can count the cycles per second because you can hear them. And in that way, you can hear in a low tone that it almost has a rhythm. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So kind of rhythms and pitches are somewhat intertwined. But the point I'm making is that sound influences you on all levels. Okay, I think we're going to end up this class right here. And we'll just sum up what we've done. First of all, before I do that, my name's Jill Mattson. Please go to wingsoflight.com, my website. There's free music, sound healing music that's very powerful on the home page. And if you download the free sound healing music, it's a half hour of it, I will send you a newsletter on how to heal with sound with things like we're learning today. And there's also a lot of videos and articles and all kinds of cool stuff. We learned first about how we can detach from our consciousness, which is normally behind our eyes, and we can go into our heart and how different it feels and how we can come in contact of subconscious energies in our heart. and how beautiful and deep and wise. It's almost like our consciousness is just the tip of the iceberg. And we did a meditation to look at the whole thing, the whole enchilada. And it was beautiful. And then we used that energy to expand out and bless everything and everyone. And it felt really good. Then we learned about flossing and grounding and bringing down heavenly energy and light and love from above. And that's very powerful. We also learned that that's very healing for our body, that our body gets out of tune, and that's kind of like a smorgasbord snack, and our body loves that, and how that's a very helpful healing practice. Then we ended up with a little science, learning about resonance, about why that works. Why does that glissando note work? Because whenever we get a pitch that our body needs, it will transfer right into our body and kind of like restore us to homeostasis, reset us, re-health us, if you will. So, thank you so much for watching. Much obliged. See you at Jill's Wings of Light. And sound and beautiful blessings.